For this project, I wanted to try something a little different and challenge myself to make a walnut mallet in one day. These are the scrap pieces of walnut I'll be using for the material. Previously, I made this cherry mallet, and while I do use it all the time, I found that there are some instances where I would prefer a smaller size. So, I marked a piece to use for the handle, and found a nice section to use for the mallet head. I've noticed that with a lot of my projects, I tend to overthink design decisions and prolong the project when I'm already limited on work time. So with this new one-day build series, I'm hoping I can get better at decision making and not overthinking the end result when I make a mistake. Back to the project though, I marked an ideal size for the mallet head, and to cut the pieces to length I'll be using my Crosscut saw, though I am in desperate need of a new blade. After the first cut, I wasn't a fan of the splintering caused by the crooked and missing teeth, so I switched over to my other pull saw. This cut came out a lot cleaner. Now to mark a location for the mallet head. I'm going to round this top portion before I fasten it to the head. I can't wait to see this mallet head oiled. There's a lot of color and grain variation. So I used a socket to trace the rounded shape for the tongue of the handle, and then scored it with a knife. I then scored a stop line, if you will, for the end of the rounded section, and cut roughly a 1/4 inch into the sides where the majority of material will be removed. I did this to prevent any splintering and breaking off pieces of the shoulder when I go to round over the top. I then used a chisel to start removing the material. The shape was a bit tricky to achieve, but I took my time and continued slowly removing the material. I then used a rasp to get a nice round over for the squared sides of the tongue. With that all done, I can now lay out the placement of the head opening. To find a good center point, I centered the head to the handle shoulder and marked the shoulder width onto the head. I then transferred these marks across the bottom of the mallet. Then double checked that the sizing was correct. And everything lined up, so now I can trace out the shape of the tongue onto the bottom of the mallet head. To start the opening, I used a small drill bit to create a pilot hole for my 1/2 inch bit. Then drilled out the opening. Oops, forgot to change the speed. I used a 1/2 inch bit so any potential tear out would fall within the section that will be removed. I then used a round rasp to create a large enough opening to fit my small chisel into, and then chiseled out the remaining material. It'll definitely need to be cleaned up, but not bad so far. So I used a rasp to clean up the inside. And it was still a bit too tight, so I shifted over to the handle and cleaned up the shape a bit more. I then further rounded it with some 80 grit paper. And, oof, that looks horrible. I decided to start working on the handle shape while I thought of a way to clean up the opening of the mallet head. And thanks to people in my comments, I got myself some Spokeshaves. Making roundovers with these is a lot faster and cleaner than using a rasp, so thank you for the recommendations. To get the rounded profile of the handle, I used the Spokeshave to chamfer the square corners of the handle, and then remove the material of the new corners produced by the initial chamfers. I'll have to keep practicing with these to get the handling down, but they definitely saved me a ton of time. I then cleaned up the roundovers with some 80 grit paper. And just like that, the handle was all shaped. I also thought of a way to fix this messy opening of the head. To do this, I'll use a scrap piece of ash to make some square inserts. This would allow me to redo the openings at the top and the bottom. So I measured and marked out the square pieces I need to cover the openings, and then cut them out with a pull saw. So I'm thinking if I remove material for the head and recess these pieces over the openings, it'll give me another chance at a cleaner opening for the eye of the handle. So I set my marking gauge to slightly below the thickness of the pieces and marked the depth I would need to remove from both openings. I then used a router plane to remove the material. Bit of a side note, but with these one-day build projects, I want to try to use power tools as little as possible. That way I get more practice in with my hand tools. I then cleaned up the walls with a chisel and fit the material into place. Funny enough, I thought this would be a great way of marking the exact opening I needed for the new piece. But it didn't work as well as I thought. So I traced on the opening instead. I also thought this mounting setup would work, but I guess not. Fortunately though, nothing broke, so I just need to clean up the opening now. So again, I used a rasp to remove the majority of the material, but this time I used a less aggressive file for cleaning up the edges. And although not perfect, I'm a lot happier with this opening than the last one. Now I just need to repeat this for the bottom of the mallet head. With both sides done, I can now glue them in place with some Titebond Original. I then used a clamp to get some squeeze out, and sprinkled some walnut sawdust over the squeeze out. I then mixed the glue and dust together to hopefully fill any gaps that may be present. And then repeated this for the other side. I used Titebond Original for its faster drying time, and after an hour or two had passed, I was able to continue working. So I clamped the mallet head in place and used my number 4 plane to remove the excess ash from the tabs. I then cleaned up the top and the bottom to make all the surfaces flush. I then got this random idea to chamfer the corners of the mallet head to make it more rounded. And while it was a cool idea at first, I got a little carried away and got just a touch too close to the openings. But I do like the chamfered edges of the head, so I'm sticking with it. Now to cut the kerf opening for the wedge. Unfortunately, I was a touch off center, so I had to make a new cut line. And then remove the material with a mortise chisel. And that's not bad. A little wide, but it should still work. So I mounted the head back onto the handle and marked a cut size for the wedge of the eye. I then scored a cut line for the wedge and cut the piece with a pull saw. I used ash to match the ash tabs I had made for the top and bottom of the head. I think it'll look pretty nice. And while holding the piece at an angle, I sanded the surfaces to give it a slight angled shape. It was still a bit too wide though, so I'll have to take some more off the width. That'll work. Time to assemble the mallet. So, I moved my tripod to the best camera angle possible and tapped the wedge in place. Then cut off the excess. Using the hand plane was a bit tricky with the pop of end grain in the middle, but I took my time and made the top flush. I then used a small amount of glue and sawdust to fill the small gaps around the eye. And unfortunately, because I took a bit too much off of the corners, I had some patchwork to do on the bottom as well. And after waiting an hour for the glue to dry, I was ready to start sanding. First, I'll start with 80 grit mesh paper, then move up to 120 grit. And before the final sand at 240 grit, I'll raise the grain with some water. And after about 15 minutes, the mallet was dry and ready for the final sand. Before the oil, I'll remove any dust with a tack cloth, and then apply Howard Feed and Wax wood polishing conditioner. I am loving the color variation of this mallet. And after about an hour or so, I could wipe off the excess with a paper towel. And just like that, the mallet was all done. And while it's not the cleanest piece I've made, it was still rewarding to be able to complete the mallet in one day. I know I've already said this, but the color variation in the walnut is probably my favorite part of this build. I love the balance between the heartwood and sapwood. But enough about the looks, let's test it out. The mallet is very lightweight, which makes for easy handling. It would be perfect for small detail work like carving and even cleaning up bow tie inlays. This one-day build challenge was a lot of fun. It forced me to work a little bit faster and not overthink design choices. Now, as with all my projects, there are definitely some things I learned. While rasps are nice for removing material, there's definitely a time and place to use them. It can be very easy to remove too much material and leave gaps. I'll also have to get more practice in with the spoke shaves. I got a bit carried away and removed too much material near the openings. Overall, I'm still happy with how the mallet turned out, and it'll get plenty of use for future projects. Thank you all for watching. A full list of tools and materials used will be in the description below. Please let me know in the comments if you have any woodworking advice or cool ideas I should try for another one-day build challenge. Thank you.